Hello and welcome to JK. My name is Josephat Kamau, and today we're delving into one of Kenya's most audacious military undertakings, Operation Linda Nenchi. This bold move reshaped regional security and remains a critical chapter in our nation's history. So, what exactly was it, and why was it so significant? Let's find out. Operation Linda Nenchi, which translates to Protect the Country in Swahili, was a joint military initiative launched by Kenya in October 2011. Its primary target was the militant group Al-Shabaab, which had been carrying out a series of cross-border attacks and kidnappings, posing a severe threat to Kenya's national security and its vital tourism industry. The final straw was a series of abductions of aid workers and tourists along the Kenyan coast. This forced the Kenyan government to act decisively, marking the first time since independence that Kenyan troops had formally crossed into another country to fight. The mission had clear and ambitious objectives. First and foremost, it aimed to create a buffer zone in southern Somalia to push Al-Shabaab away from the Kenyan border. The goal was to dismantle their training camps, disrupt their operational networks, and secure the porous border that had become a gateway for insurgents. Ultimately, the operation intended to weaken Al-Shabaab's capacity to launch attacks inside Kenya and to support the transitional federal government of Somalia in reclaiming its territory and restoring stability. The operation involved a multi-pronged approach, with ground troops from the Kenyan Army advancing into Somalia, supported by the Kenyan Air Force providing crucial air surveillance and targeted strikes. The Kenyan Navy also played a vital role by blockading the port of Kismayo, which was a major source of revenue and a logistical hub for Al-Shabaab. The operation was a massive logistical undertaking. Convoys of Kenyan Defense Forces, or KDF, crossed the border, navigating difficult terrain and facing an unpredictable enemy skilled in guerrilla warfare. The initial phase of the operation was swift, with Kenyan forces capturing several key towns previously under Al-Shabaab's control. This early success was a testament to the KDF's preparation and resolve. The soldiers faced numerous challenges, including improvised explosive devices, ambushes, and difficult weather conditions, particularly the heavy rains that turned roads into mud pits. Despite these obstacles, the advance continued, signaling Kenya's serious commitment to the mission. One of the most significant moments of Operation Linda Nenchi was the battle for Kismayo in September 2012. Kismayo was Al-Shabaab's last major stronghold and its economic lifeline. Capturing it was seen as the key to crippling the organization. The KDF, alongside Somali National Army troops and the Ras Kamboni Brigade, a local Somali militia, executed a sophisticated amphibious assault codenamed Operation Sledgehammer. Kenyan troops landed on the beaches north of the city under the cover of darkness, while other forces advanced on the ground. This surprise attack overwhelmed Al-Shabaab's defenses, forcing them to retreat from the city. The fall of Kismayo was a massive blow to the militants, both financially and symbolically. It cut off their main source of income from port taxes and charcoal exports and demonstrated that their grip on southern Somalia was broken. The impact of Operation Linda Nenchi is complex and multifaceted. On one hand, it achieved several of its key military objectives. Al-Shabaab was significantly weakened in southern Somalia. Their command structure was disrupted, and they lost control of vital territories. The operation successfully created a buffer zone that, for a time, reduced the frequency of cross-border attacks. It also enhanced Kenya's reputation as a regional military power, capable of projecting force beyond its borders to protect its national interests. The KDF gained invaluable combat experience, and the operation fostered a sense of national pride and unity in its initial stages. However, the operation also had significant consequences. Following the intervention, Al-Shabaab declared war on Kenya, vowing to carry out retaliatory attacks on Kenyan soil. This threat materialized in a series of devastating terrorist attacks, including the Westgate Mall siege in 2013, the Mpeketoni attacks in 2014, and the Garissa University attack in 2015. These attacks brought the war home to Kenyans, leading to a heightened state of security and a national conversation about the true costs of the intervention. The fight against Al-Shabaab shifted from a conventional military operation in Somalia to a domestic counterterrorism struggle within Kenya's borders. The humanitarian aspect also became a major point of discussion. The conflict in southern Somalia displaced thousands of civilians, adding to the already immense refugee crisis in the region. There were concerns about civilian casualties and the adherence to international humanitarian law during military operations. Balancing the hard-hitting security objectives with the responsibility to protect innocent lives became a continuous challenge for the KDF and its allies. In 2012, about a year after the initial invasion. The Kenyan forces integrated into the African Union mission in Somalia, or AMISOM. This move internationalized the conflict and provided a broader framework and support system for the stabilization efforts in Somalia. Under the AMISOM banner, the KDF continued its operations against Al-Shabaab, working alongside troops from other African nations like Uganda, Burundi, and Ethiopia. This transition marked a shift from a unilateral Kenyan intervention to a multinational peacekeeping and enforcement mission, underscoring the regional nature of the threat posed by Al-Shabaab. Beyond the battlefield, Operation Inchi had profound diplomatic and political implications. It solidified Kenya's role as a key player in East African security and counterterrorism efforts. The intervention forced regional and international partners to engage more deeply with the Somali crisis. It also spurred important domestic debates within Kenya about military spending, the role of parliament in authorizing military action, and the long-term strategy for securing the nation. It was a learning experience for the country, highlighting the complexities of modern warfare, where victory is not just about capturing territory, but also about winning hearts and minds, and addressing the root causes of radicalization. So, where do things stand today? Operation Inchi officially concluded with the integration into AMIS, which has since been succeeded by the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, or ATMIS. Kenyan troops remain in Somalia as part of this multinational force, continuing the long and arduous task of stabilizing the country and preventing Al-Shabaab from re-establishing its strongholds. The threat from the group persists, though its capabilities have been degraded. The fight is far from over, and it has evolved into a long-term counterinsurgency campaign. In retrospect, Operation Inchi stands as a landmark moment in Kenya's military history. It was a bold, decisive, and necessary response to a direct threat to our sovereignty and security. It demonstrated our country's willingness and capability to act in its own defense and contribute to regional stability. However, it also served as a sobering lesson on the complexities of modern conflict, the nature of asymmetrical warfare, and the enduring costs of intervention. The operation reshaped Kenya's security posture and forever changed its relationship with its northeastern neighbor. It remains a powerful example of the difficult choices nations must make to protect their people in an increasingly interconnected and volatile world. Thank you so much for joining me on JKTV today as we explored the intricate story of Operation Inchi. It's a topic that continues to shape our present and future. What are your thoughts on the operation? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to JKTV for more deep dives into the stories that matter. Until next time, stay safe and stay informed.